So apparently I didn't save exercise number 1 properly because I got it open right now. This is the 4th exercise from last week. I think I remember what it is though. I know it's triplets. And I think pretty sure that's what it is. If I'm wrong, let me know. So here we go, 60 beats a minute. Here comes a hand shift, right there. And hand shift to the final note. Alright, double time. And goal speed of 240. Okay. On to number 2, the clean one. I'll just use very light distortion here. Or I'll just stop being lazy and hit the damn button. How about that? Geez. Okay, so the main, easiest way to remember this is the finger swapping. So you got the first, like, think of it like you're building some stairs there, right? And then to go to the second bar, you string swap your second and third finger. So string swap the middle fingers. See that? It goes from here, and then they just change strings. Same frets. Your finger's always going to be on the same frets no matter what. It's just going to change the strings. So from here to here, and then you switch the other 2 fingers, your first and fourth. So now the staircase is going the other direction. And then for the 4th bar, you switch the middle 2 fingers again, which primes you to flip it back. But we're going up a string each time anyway. So what I would do first is get comfortable with changing the patterns. And even though this is not a metronome speed drill, try practicing it with 60 beats a minute anyway. See if you can, well, I know you can make this even. So do that. Play it even sometime this week. Having a thought and playing at the same time. Now watch, like when I switch the strings there, for something like this, I'll tend to put 1 finger down at a time. Instead of trying to put everything down at once, and it's just like easier for me, my brain to compartmentalize everything that's happening because I'm picking 1 string at a time. So it's easier for me to just put 1 finger down at a time. Now if I was strumming it, well, then I would have to get all fingers down at the same time, but that's different technique. So it's okay to put 1 finger down at a time as you need it to be down. I hope that makes sense. Because if it doesn't make sense, you're confused right now, and I need to do a better job explaining. Here we go. From the top again. And when you can do that, I want you to try moving it down a fret until you can eventually start on the 1st fret. So I got to put my elbow way out here to try and keep my wrist as straight as possible so I don't aggravate the strain I have back there. Okay. Legato time. 60 beats a minute. Exercise 3. Yeah, make sure this one you don't want to put one finger down at a time. Don't, remember, you're doing pull off, so do not do it this way. Because then you're just doing hammer-ons by slamming your finger down. You're not pulling off to anything. You gotta have what you pull off to down and advance. So try and get all 3 fingers down as soon as you can after you change strings here. Double time. Now the faster you go, the harder it's going to be to get your fingers down all at the same time. However, training yourself to do that at the slower speeds should carry over into the fast speeds. So even if like your pinky gets down just barely before one of your other fingers, by the time you execute the pull off, the finger you're pulling off to should be down. Should be. Hopefully it will be for you. Here we go. Once again. What was that? The cat in the closet, that's what it is. So that's the goal speed of 240 right there. And the last one, the 4-note coils. So nice. So if you want to break this down into smaller pieces, you're welcome to do it in the smallest chunks need be to memorize it. So I would do that first. Memorize this exercise first before doing it with the metronome. Okay. Here we go. And double time. And goal speed of 240. That's a tough one, but it's hopefully this is gonna really jumpstart your finger and pick coordination. Ugh. If you start wanting to palm mute a little bit when you play that, that's fine. My hand tends to do that naturally to help clean things up as I go. Because most likely your picking hand is going to be doing this a lot when you're playing that, because staying in that upper center the entire time, you're gonna hit strings on some of those string changes. So your right hand is going to be muting a lot on that, but you'll also probably start to develop more of that two-way pick slanting technique, so long as you actually pay attention to how your pick is going from note to note and trying to avoid hitting the other strings. So try your best to not hit strings that you're not trying to play when you're changing strings. Hopefully that made sense. All right. If you got questions, send them my way. I'll see you on Friday.